we have Congressman Adam Kinzinger on the phone calling in for an interview. How you doing this morning?
Hey, what's up? What's up? What's up? Hey, it's a good reminder. I don't know what's going on with the weather, but everybody get your flu shot. It's flu shot season. Get it.
It is flu shot season. Yes, and we don't need anything else. Coursing through the country right now. So, where are you right now?
I'm in D.C. We're out here for this week and next week and maybe even the next. But we're kind of on a pretty full schedule here, with all these kind of deadlines and everything coming up. And so, yeah, it's going to be a news-making couple weeks of just, Washington doing what it does best, which is handling disasters at the very last second.
Yeah, that's disasters at the very last. You make a good point there. I'm glad I get to talk to you about this. You and I we talk a little bit off air, but we don't get to really get into some stuff. I've told you I appreciate what you do and your voice a little bit unique. In the world of politics. So, let's not go after any specific tribe or anybody here, but what's going on in politics right now? How would you fix it? When did we get to this point where we're all on a team and we're all rooting for our team, and regardless of what our team does, you have to support that. And that's just kind of an outsider looking in. It's kind of what the problem is right now, is we refuse to hold anybody on our team accountable. When did that happen? Did it happen before you became a congressman, or has that been you watch it develop?
So I think I think you could start seeing it develop a little in the 90s. You could see it with if you think back to the Clarence Thomas confirmation, the justice, I guess they call it borking, Justice Bork, that was basically crushed personally. That's where that term came from. And then again, Thomas, and then you see Newt Gingrich comes in, and then everything started around that time becoming kind of personal, existential. And the other thing that happened was two other big things: the fall of the Soviet Union, and also, it became a very close power dynamic. So now every election is really existential for, control of the House. But the fall of the Soviet Union, no matter, if you look back 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, we may have disagreed with each other on policy, but we could all agree that, we didn't like the Russians, we didn't like the communists. And when that fell, briefly changed by 9/11, but for the most part, when that fell, we quit having an enemy. And I think the enemy just became, because there is a profit motive behind it, particularly if you look at, some of these websites that are so focused on one side or the other, it just became all about the enemy is now somebody with a different political view. And, of course, just like if you see a shooting somewhere in the country, it feels like now there's shootings everywhere. The internet brings right to your face, the worst of each side, the most angry progressive or the most angry conservative, and it just keeps stirring and inflaming these passions. It's a dangerous place.
I think you hit the nail on the head. It's social media these days, and brings you the most clickable story right to your face. I'll admit I'm a member of the media. I've been through the classes. I've been through the training, and it's very specific about what you need to do to get people to look at your stuff. And boring stuff doesn't get clicks. I don't know if there's a way to fix that on the social media side of it. Is there some way to fix this internally?
It's a good question, because I think a lot of it is, people look to Washington or to government to solve their problems. And, as conservatives, we shouldn't be for that. And I'm not. And I think, while there is I think we need to discover, do we need to basically put labels on certain kind of news about whether it's opinion or fact? If you watch, news at night, for instance, and, sometimes there is an opinion show masquerading as legitimate news, and it's not. So maybe there's a place for, at least just a disclaimer to denote this is an opinion. But it really does come from the individual. It comes from, yes, it feels way more comfortable to be part of a tribe that believes what you believe. Let's talk about, whatever that is, if it's the election or whatever. Even if you know that to be false, it can feel much better to belong to that tribe. And that's the key, is people have to make a determination in their own heart that they will not be misled. And they also have to break the rage cycle. I mean, the way that social media is set up is to spoon-feed you rage. So you can sit there like a fat kid on the couch whose mom keeps bringing in cookies. That's rage. And they just make you fatter and lazier and fatter and more docile. And you can do that. Or you can make the tough decision, quit eating those cookies of rage, go out and exercise your brain and have independent thought. It's tough to do.
Independent thought is something that is in high demand right now in this country. So we hear a lot about getting money out of politics, not making politicians be a career for somebody. Is that a way to kind of fix things, to maybe not have our politicians be celebrities? I would love to have boring politicians again.
Me too. I've got a bit of a national profile now, and, it's taken 11 years, and actually this wasn't my goal to go out and become a national figure, but you look at all the media I've done over 11 years of my career. Look at now people that come in that have been in Congress now for 5 months that are celebrities because they say outrageous things. And that's what happens is people look at politics. They used to say politics is Hollywood for ugly people, and now, unfortunately, it's all just kind of combining. And so people look at politics and say, I can be well-known in 6 months, and I'm going to go out there and say outrageous things and do it. So I think taking the celebrity out is one thing. I think don't vote for a celebrity politician. Secondarily, I think the money in politics is less about members of Congress staying in the job or what they get paid. Keep in mind, Congress has not had a pay raise in 12 years, so it's been basically a 30% pay cut. I'm not complaining about it. But I think you start to get to the point when you have to have 2 residences that you pay for where people that aren't rich quit running, and that's what you don't want. But the big thing is the money in politics. When I was elected, if you raised $1 million, that would be considered amazing for a race. Now you're talking $5 or $10 million. Look in the state of Illinois. There were some state rep races that were $2 and $3 million. Mm-hmm. That's insane. And if you're worth $1 billion, and I'm not going after just the governor here, although that's an issue, if you're worth $1 billion, you can just run a super PAC for any issue you want. That is borderline oligarchy. Now, how do we change that? You've got to have a constitutional amendment, and that's going to be difficult. But I think these are conversations we've got to have. There is way too much in politics. And lastly, I'll say in that it leads to these emails you get that are just fear-dripped. Give me money or Pelosi's going to destroy the country, or give me money or Donald Trump's going to ruin the country. The fear-dripped fundraising's got to stop.
I agree with you wholeheartedly on all of that. Congressman, thank you for your time. Thanks for talking. Before I let you go, anything you want to say hi to Illinois folks back here at home?
No, look, it was good being back, traveling around. We're glad to see some, relief on the nuclear plants. We're going to continue to push some issues here on the federal level. All of the above energy, not just one kind. So thanks, my man.
Awesome. Thanks for joining us, and good luck cleaning things up out there. All right, man?
Yeah, you bet. Take care.
Not a problem. There's Congressman Adam Kinzinger.